Welcome everyone to chair yoga. So we'll begin today by sitting comfortably in the chair, just walking those hips all the way to the back of the chair so you can relax the back, extending the feet a little bit in front of you just to take any tension out of the knees. And then resting the hands in the lap, go ahead and close the eyes or just drop the gaze. And turning the attention inward, just taking a moment to shut out all the busyness and chaos of the day. Noticing how your body feels. Especially noting any areas of tension or tightness. And then we'll take 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And one more nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck. And the shoulders. And then turn the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice even breathing, inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If at any time it makes you lightheaded or dizzy, then just go back to your own normal breathing pattern. And then we also set an intention for each practice to help remind us why we are here. So that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or a positive thought or a phrase. So think of an intention that you'd like to have for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And then we'll begin the warm-up by turning our heads to look out over that right shoulder. Coming back to center. and turning to look out over the left. And back to center, dropping the chin to the chest. And then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jetting that lower jaw out. And coming back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And back to center and left ear to left shoulder. And back to center, extending the hands out in front, open and close the fingers. And then some wrist circles. And reverse. And then keeping the elbows alongside the body, having the palms facing each other, we're just going to do these little wrist bends. So just bending from the wrist, turning the hands side to side. Good. And then coming back to center, turn the palms up, still have the elbows close to the side, and then turn the palms down and back up again. Just doing some forearm turns. Good. And then taking your hands, we'll do some finger taps. So we're just going to tap each finger to the thumb, starting with the index finger, and then reverse it. So then start with the pinkies and come back. And try it again. Good. And again. Pinky, ring, middle. Good. And then bring those arms down, just shake it out. And sitting up nice and tall, we'll do some shrugs. So pulling those shoulders up or pushing them up, pulling them back down. Good. The next time you pick the shoulders up, then roll them to the back. Good. Then we're going to take our hands and we're going to push our hands up like we're trying to keep the ceiling up. Or you're pushing the ceiling up. Good. Bring the hands down and then push them forward like you're saying stop. Stop. Pull the elbows back and press those hands forward. Good. Now we're going to combine those two movements. We're going to go up and forward. Up and forward. Good. Couple more. Good. Then bend the elbows, bring them back in. You can hook your thumbs in the underarms as we do a little elbow raise or a little chicken dance movement. Good. All right, relax it out, bring those arms out, wiggle it out, and shake it out. And then we'll extend the right leg and point and flex the foot. And then some ankle circles and reverse. Good. And then switch, same thing on the left, point and flex. And circles. And reverse. Good. And bring that left leg back in. And then taking the right leg, just extend the leg forward. Keep your toes on the floor. Then you're going to lift the leg and slowly bend the knee and bring that foot back in. Good. And then we'll try it again. Lift And bend it back in. Good. So slide, lift, and bring it back in. Let's do it one more time. Good. And then on the left. So slide it out. Again, lift it up and bend. Good. Two more. Good. And last one. Good. And then walking those hips up about midway in the chair, we'll take that right knee and step it out to the side and back in. So just this out and in, warming up the hip. Good. Come back to center and try it on the left. Step wide, bring it back in. Good. One more. Good. And sitting up nice and tall, bring the right arm alongside the body. You can hold on to the chair if you'd like. And then inhale, sweep the left arm up, and exhale, bend to the right. And then releasing back to center, switch arms, inhale, and exhale to the left. Coming back to center, take the left hand, place it on the right knee, and we're going to come into a twist. So you'll want to inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep that spine nice and long as you turn and look to the right. Good. And then release back to center, switch hands. And again, inhale to lengthen. And exhale, turn and look to the left. And just come back to that nice, even breathing. Take a breath or two. Good. And then release back to center. So before we come up to standing, we're going to do a little warm-up in the chair. So we have 4 different movements. We'll move to the breath. So the first time through, I'll go a little slow so you catch on to the movements. It's very easy and simple. So, all right, sitting up nice and tall, we'll bring the arms alongside the body. With your inhale, sweep those arms up. With the exhale, as you begin to bring the arms out to the side, bring them around as you pick up that right knee. Exhale, bring the right foot down. Inhale, we're going to go back to this stepping wind. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, you're going to lengthen the spine, extend the arms a little bit behind you, and then bending from the hip so your back stays straight. You're going to come forward about 45 degrees. We call this airplane. And then with your inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, pick up your heels for chair pose. Good. And then we'll exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, sweep them all the way back up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So that's one round. All right, here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to pick up the left knee. Exhale down. Inhale, step wide. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, lengthen the spine, bring those arms a little bit behind you as you exhale, coming forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, lift your toes. Good. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, sweep them all the way around again, and exhale to the heart. All right, we keep going. Here we go. Inhale, we're back to the right with that exhale. Inhale, pick up the knee. Exhale, down. Inhale, wide. Exhale, center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, arms up. We're back to lifting the heels. Good. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale to the heart. All right, here we go on the left side. Inhale. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, pick up the left knee. Good. Exhale, down. Inhale wide, exhale center. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, coming forward. Good. Inhale, arms up and lift your toes. Good. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale to the heart. Once more each side. You getting warmed up? Good. Exhale, pick up the right knee. Exhale. Good. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift the heels. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale to the heart. Last time, we'll start with the left knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, step it wide. Exhale, center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, arms up. Lift your toes. Exhale, bring the arms down. Then inhale, sweep them up. Exhale to the heart. Good. So hopefully you've gotten warmed up. My heart's beating a little faster. And then you're going to walk your hips to the edge of the chair. Shift your weight into your legs as you press into your feet and come up to standing. All right. Go ahead and come around either behind your chair, or I'm going to put the chair to the side, and we will get to that in just a moment. Right now, we want to stand in our standing mountain pose called Tadasana. So this is the foundation of all of our standing postures. So you want to have your feet about hip width apart, and you're going to find the four corners of the feet. It's the inner and outer edges of the balls of the feet, back to the inner and outer edges of the heels. So we're going to do a little movement to help us feel where that is. So you're just going to sway forward so you feel how the weight comes on the balls of the feet, and then sway back so it's on your heels, not too far, don't lose your balance. So that's the area where then I want you to come back to center, distribute the weight, and you should be able to wiggle your toes. And then you're going to lift up through the arches, tighten the front of the thighs, bring the arms alongside the body a few inches away from it, palms facing each other. Lift and tighten the abdominals. Focus on the spine, lengthening up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Picking the shoulders up, roll them down the back. So now you're going to lift the chest. Keep those abs tight though. Keeping the chin parallel to the floor. Then you're going to use these neck muscles to pull the ears back a little bit because you want your ears right over your shoulders. Good. And then the shoulders will be stacked over the hips, hips over knees, and knees over ankles. And then you'll gaze forward and come back to that nice, even breathing as we take a few breaths here. This is a great pose just to do a couple of times a day to work on your posture. If I'm ever standing in line somewhere, I remember Tadasana and try to, focus on standing nice and tall. Good. All right, so for our next posture, we're actually going to come around behind the chair. I'm going to turn kind of diagonally so you can see me. So we're going to put our hands on the chair, and you're going to walk your feet back because we want to extend through the arms. So you want to have your arms straight. Now, we're going to actually widen our stance. So see if you can bring your feet just outside your hips, so just a little wider than your hips. And then make sure that the arms are straight because we want to lengthen through the arms. You're going to push the weight back a little bit in your hips. Now, You're going to focus on that low back. If you feel yourself rounding, then I want you to bend your knees. You can see when you bend your knees, you can keep that back straighter because you want to drop the chest down towards the floor, bringing your head between your arms. So adjust your chair if you need to maybe lengthen out a little bit more. And then if you need to, just keep this bend in the knees. If your hamstrings are a little more flexible, you may be able to straighten the legs. The key is going to be that low back, as long as that low back is straight. Good. Try to pull the shoulders down the back and just continue to breathe. Good. And then to come out of the pose, we will bend the knees. You're going to walk those feet in and then walk in towards the chair so that you can come back up to your standing position. All right. And then standing again in Tadasana, we're going to do a couple side bends here. So we're going to do what's called monkey stretches. We'll take a nice big inhale. With your exhale, as you bend to the right, just keeping your right arm alongside your right thigh, you're going to bring your left hand up towards your armpit. And then come back to center. Exhale to the left and center. You can see where the monkey comes in here. Good. Center and left. Good. Let's try it once more each side. Just a nice, easy stretch. Good. And then we're going to just let our arms hang, keep the knees soft, and just do a nice, easy twist. So this is our elephant twist because now it looks like we're swinging our trunk. The key here is to keep those knees bent a little bit just so that you're not locked as you're twisting. And again, it's just a nice, easy loosening up of the spine. Good. All right, go ahead and come back to center. Come back to standing behind the chair. And we're going to come into, I'm going to squeaky part of my floor here, so I'm going to move over a little bit. We're going to come into a high lunge. So you're going to shift the weight to the left leg. As you bend the right knee, this is a pretty big step backwards because you want to end up on the ball of the right foot. As you come onto the ball of the right foot, bend your left knee. Now, you're welcome to keep your left hand on the chair. Focus on your hips. You want to keep your hips facing the back of the chair. So you may have to pull that left hip back, push the right hip forward. All right. If you need a little support, keep that left hand on the chair and we'll lift the right arm up. Otherwise, see if you can let go of the chair. You want to keep the torso lifted. Good. Now tighten the front of that right thigh. That'll give you a little support, that back leg. Keep breathing. Good. And then with the exhale, as you bring either both arms or the right arm down, you're going to lean forward, slide that right foot forward a little bit so that you can now press the right heel down. So coming into more of a warrior one stance here. And then you're going to straighten the left leg. Now again, if this makes you a little wobbly, just keep a hand on the chair, that's fine. We're going to bring either the right arm, or if you can, both arms behind the back, and you can see I'm just holding on to my opposite forearm. My arms are across the low back. And then with an inhale, I want you to lift the chest and just look up like where the wall and the ceiling meet. So it's a little balance challenge here. The chair is there at any time. Put your hand on the chair. I don't want you falling or anything. But just taking our eyes off of center here challenges our balance. Good. And then with your exhale, go ahead and release your arms. Bring the chest back to center. And then we're going to come into twisted triangle. So we'll bring the right hand down to the chair. Take a nice big inhale. With the exhale, you're going to begin to turn to the left. So you're going to see my back here for a second. And then extend that left arm as you turn and look to the left. If you can, see if you can keep that left leg straight also. Good. And breathe. Good. And then exhale, go ahead and bring the left hand down to the chair, bend the left knee, step that right foot forward, and then we'll try that on the other side. So weight goes into the right leg. We're going to come into our high lunge. So you're going to bend the left knee. Remember, it's a big step behind you because you want to be on the ball of the foot. As you come onto the ball of the left foot, then bend the right knee. If you need to, keep that right hand on the chair, extending the left arm up, or if you're okay, extending both arms. Good. Continue to breathe. Pull those shoulders down the back. Good. And then release. Bring the arms down to the chair. Now remember, you're going to shift the weight forward. Just slide that left foot forward. So now you can press the left heel down. You're coming into a warrior one stance. And then you're going to straighten the right leg. Remember, keep a hand on the chair if you need to. Otherwise, we'll bring those arms behind the back. So you can see how that's opened up the chest. So kind of doing a little mini back bend here. And then see if you can look up, again, where the ceiling and the wall meet. So you've taken your eyes off of center here, just to challenge that core. Good. And then with your next exhale, if you had a hand on the chair, go ahead and bring the other hand here. And we'll go into twisted triangle here. So if you can, keep the right leg straight. Take an inhale, left hand will come onto the chair. And then with your exhale, now you're going to turn to the right. You can either extend that right arm out, or you can always put your hand on the hip. Try to open up through that right shoulder. Good, and continue to breathe. Good, and then with your exhale, release, come back to facing the back of the chair. Bend the right knee as you shift your weight forward and take a step forward. And then go ahead and just walk it out. Shake those legs out. Good. And we're going to stay behind the chair. We're still going to do a little core work. This is our standing bird dog. You may have done a bird dog down on the hands and knees. It's where you lift your opposite arm and leg. So it works this low back. It's great for strengthening that. If you do have low back issues, then I want you to limit how high you're lifting that back leg. You don't have to lift it real high. And if you certainly start to feel anything, then back off of what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see me a little better. So standing behind the chair, let's start with extending the right arm. So you'll shift the weight into the right leg as you extend the left leg. Good. Come back to center, shift the weight over to the left, extend the left leg and the right leg. Left arm, right leg. Good. And then right arm, left leg. Good. And reverse. So you want to do this in a nice, controlled manner. Find your gazing point out in front of you. If you want to try letting go, then just extend that arm to the back leg. Good. Let's try it once more on each side. Good. All right, and again, just walk it out a little bit. And then we'll come around to the front of the chair and have a seat. And we're going to continue with this theme of strengthening our low back. So come up towards the edge of the chair, just so you have a little space between your back and the back of the chair. And then we're going to extend our arms out in front of us. Take a nice big inhale, and with your exhale, so you're bending from the hip. Imagine you have a board strapped on your back. Just lean back towards the back of the chair, and then inhale, pull yourself back up. So exhale, leaning back. You don't want to round through that low back. Remember, you're keeping it nice and straight. Good. Exhale back. You're actually using those abs to pull yourself up. You don't have to touch the back of the chair. Just leaning back a little bit on your sacrum, which is that flat part at the base of the spine. Good, and back up. Let's do 2 more. And up. And then last one. Good. All right, release those arms, shake it out. Good. Turn towards the front here. So still sitting about midway in your chair, we're going to come into a twist. So you're going to take your feet, and we're just going to shuffle these feet over to the right. Still keep your legs together. So you can see now you've just angled your thighs a little bit to the left. Take your right hand, place it on your left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, turn and look to the left. So it's a little more intense twist than our warm-up, just by angling those hips a little bit. Good, and continue to breathe. And then exhale, releasing back to center, and then we're going to shuffle those feet now over to the left, again, just to angle the hips to the right. Now you'll take the left hand on the right knee, inhale to lengthen, and exhale, turn and look to the right. Good. And then releasing back to center, go ahead and bring those feet back to center. And then coming up to the edge of the chair, we'll keep the left knee bent and extend just the right leg. Have your knees and toes pointing up. And then adjust yourself so that you feel a nice stretch behind that right thigh. So we're coming into a hamstring stretch. Now you may feel that stretch right here, then I want you to stay where you are. If you are a little more flexible, bending from the hip, so the back stays straight, just bring your chest forward, maybe about 1 inch or 2, and you should feel a deepening in that stretch. So what you want to pay attention to here is that it's a nice deep stretch. There's no discomfort, there's no straining or pain. You just feel that nice deep stretch, and then we'll take a few breaths. A lot of low back pain, they think almost 80% of low back pain can be attributed to tight hamstrings. So when we were standing, we did some nice hamstring stretches, and here too. So we do this quite often in this class. All right, let's try it on the other side. Okay. So again, wherever you feel a nice stretch, if you want to bring the chest forward a little bit, again, you're not rounding around the waist. I'm keeping my back straight. I'm bending from my hip. Good, and then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. Bring that left foot back in, and then you want to sit about midway in the chair. We're going to do a stretch for the glute. So if you've been told not to cross your foot over your thigh like this is a pretty deep external rotation, then just cross that right foot over the left ankle. You may want to move up towards the edge of the chair here because you want to try to just open that right knee up. So you're still doing that external rotation. It just isn't as severe. So if you're okay otherwise, then we'll cross the right foot over the left thigh. And you should feel that in that right hip. Again, if you're a little more flexible there and you want to deepen the stretch, just like we did in our hamstring stretch, you're going to bend from the hip and bring the torso forward. This time, I would say an inch, you're going to feel a difference. Good. Now continue to breathe as we hold these stretches, that nice even breathing. This particular pose we call a seated pigeon pose. We do it on the mat also. Good. And then go ahead and lift the torso and cross the right leg. Same thing on the left. If you need to come here, then that's perfectly fine. You're still getting a stretch in that hip. Otherwise, we'll cross on the thigh. Good. And continue to breathe. Good. And then with the inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. As you uncross, we're actually going to angle ourselves over to the right front leg of your chair. And then you're going to bring your feet to the leg of the chair. Now I'm not in a regular chair, I'm in this folded chair, so I'm going to have to adjust how I sit a little bit. But you want to rest your feet on the leg of the chair so that you can put the soles of the feet together, and then you see how my knees open up to the side. So again, I'm stretching through the hips. It's just more in the inner thigh here than rotating, which is what we did for pigeon, which if you have a hip replacement, you don't want to do that external rotation. So here you should just feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh. Again, keeping the back straight, so lifting the chest, and just taking a few breaths here. Good. And then go ahead and release those feet and come around to the front of the chair. And then from here, walk those hips back to the back of the chair as we come back into our relaxation seat, or what we call Savasana now. We'll take a few moments just to relax the body. So come back to closing the eyes, or dropping the gaze, and turning the attention to the breath. Again, notice the inhale, and notice the exhale. And after your next inhale, begin to lengthen the exhale. And continue lengthening each exhale until they become about twice as long as the inhale. Focus on the physical body. Relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension or tightness. Focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. Please try to come back in. Just acknowledge them and release them. Turning the attention back to the breath. Again, notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Give yourself just a few moments to completely let go. Start moving your fingers, toes, then the wrists and the ankles. Slowly bending one knee and then the other. And keeping the body relaxed and the eyes closed for another moment. Focus on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. And then we'll take one more deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me.